Kishu Krishna, Kishu Kukit, Kishu Quiet, Kapaniskis, Hugakit Kishuket Schmiet. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. I know I didn't say those in the correct form, but yeah. Welcome to the Wealthy Warrior Wednesdays. I'm your host, Peter White, also known as Kanchuket Schmidt, and we are on the Wealthy Warriors. It is Wealthy Warrior Wednesday. I hope all of you are having an amazing hump day right now. I hope all of you are getting ready for a new season coming around the corner. It is almost summertime. Out here in the West Coast, it has been beautiful the past few days. The sun is shining, people are out, the bees are buzzing, the birds are chirping, and the flowers are blossoming. And I'm hoping that you have stuck with your New Year's resolutions or your goals that you've been working towards this year. And we're almost officially 6 months into it. We're almost halfway into the new year already. It's pretty crazy. But we are there. And most people have actually fallen off of their New Year's resolution. They have given up. They realize that it's a lot harder than it looks. And it is. It's worth, it's hard work. It is not very easy, but it's worth it. And just like when you're out planting a garden, and let's just say you're planting flowers, and the flowers don't grow. Most times it's not the flower that's not growing. It's the environment that the flower is put in. Maybe the soil is not rich enough. Maybe the season isn't proper to flourish in. Maybe you started to plant your flowers in fall. Maybe you started to plant them in wintertime. Maybe when there's not much sunlight out, or there's snow, or there's rain. We often think that it's the flower, and metaphorically, I'm speaking of yourself as the flower, right? You may have tried to plant your flowers in your New Year's resolution when all you needed was just to change the season to start it. And coming up in a few days is actually my 11 years sobriety, and anything I've ever done significantly in my life, I've never waited for a New Year's resolution. I never waited for New Year's to happen per se. I just started. I started dancing in May. That's the 4th month of the year. I got sober in June. That's the 5th month of the year, and these things that have been really significant in my life just needed to start in a certain season. They both started in spring. They both were planted in springtime so they could flourish. And maybe that's all you have to do is go back and relook at your goal. Maybe break it down into more simple steps, Start with what you got, where you're at. Maybe that's all you need to do. Maybe you need to just lower the bar a little lower, Maybe you just set that standard too high for you to achieve right now. And that's okay, Sometimes we overestimate something, but we underestimate what we can actually do, the strength within inside of us. And that's what I want to remind you this week, is that if you struggled with your goal before, try a different route. Say you're trying to lose weight. There's different ways of losing weight per se, getting in shape. Maybe you never lifted weights before, so you get a personal trainer and lift weights. Maybe you start doing yoga. Maybe you start running. Maybe you start intermittent fasting more often. Maybe you change the way your lifestyle of eating. Maybe you try carnivore. Maybe you try vegan, vegetarian. Maybe you only allow yourself to have certain things when you're at a certain place. I listened to this guy who talked about how he helped his clients lose weight, and they didn't start off with anything crazy. All it was he's only allowed to drink soda or pop, depending on where you live, when he was out. When he went out for dinner, that's when he was allowed to eat or drink soda, pop. And he wasn't allowed having it at home. Just something simple as changing when you have something. And then, they kind of switched it up after I think he lost like 15, 20 pounds. And then, so the thing was, he was only allowed to eat out once a week. Once a week, he was allowed to go out and have something and splurge. And he started to lose more weight. And then after that, he had more confidence. They actually got him to start working out, by walking just every day at a pace where you're breathing kind of heavy, where your heart is pumping. Nothing too crazy, nothing too, out of the, you're not jumping into CrossFit right away. But he just had to change his environment slowly. It's like when you plant, sometimes you get a plant and it comes in a pot. And eventually that pot will become too small. So you have to take that plant and put it in the ground and plant that plant in the ground so it can flourish even more. It outgrew its environment. The environment wasn't bad to begin with because it gave the flower a place to start with, to get momentum, to get roots, to be able to live, right? And then it transferred into a bigger environment. Sometimes that's what you need to do in life, is just start off smaller. Start off just doing something very little. You don't have to go all out, 10x, because sometimes that will actually discourage us from achieving our goals. And I've been there before, I've taken too big of a chunk that I could swallow. You're super hungry and you see this massive sandwich and you just take a huge bite out of it and you can't even chew it because it's so big. Well, you're not going to be able to even swallow that because you chewed off more than you could swallow. So you got to step back a bit and take smaller bites. And eventually you'll finish the sandwich and you won't be hungry. That's what you need to do with your goals. Maybe come back, look at whatever you want to reach and say, hey, maybe I could just do this step and this step. Maybe I can do this. Maybe I can try that. Look at it from different perspectives of life. Create a different environment where you can flourish in, where you can grow in, where you can become the best version of yourself. You're not broken. You're like that flower. That flower's not broken. It just needs a different environment. All you need is a different environment to reach your goal. I do believe in you. I believe in you. I believe in you that you can accomplish anything you set your mind to, because our minds are so powerful. Our mind is our limit. Our mind is what either pushes us or gets in our own way. And I'm here to remind you that you are stronger than you believe. You are. And if you haven't seen my journey, there's other people's journeys too that are living proof of no matter what, you can accomplish these things as long as you believe in yourself. I've mentioned them before. I've mentioned other people that have done extraordinary things later in their life. They brought the skills they had, the knowledge they had to the table. And that's all you need to do. Is just look at it from a different angle, because you might see it in a different light, a different view, a different way. So now that it's almost the middle of the year, let's get back on track to getting you to your goal this year. And one of my goals this year was to invest a little bit more money into my outfit, into my regalia. And I've done that. I bought a new breechcloth. It's phenomenal. It's beautiful. It has a rose on it, which is significant to us Tunaka people. The wild rose is our medicine. We used it for many things. As I'm wearing a rose shirt right now, it's our medicine. And I just recently purchased a new head roach from an artist. And let me tell you, it was pretty pricey. Since I live up here in Canada, we get brutally taken advantage of on that exchange rate. And I ended up purchasing it. It was in American dollars. And after the exchange rate, it was like just over $7,500. Yeah, just over $7,500 this thing was. But it's immaculate, right? And to me, I feel like it is something that brings not only myself joy and happiness, but it's going to bring other people joy and happiness who watch me dance. It's not about myself only. If I only thought about myself when I danced, I wouldn't put as much effort into it as I do sometimes, But I know there's someone out there that's watching me, either through their phone, their laptop, or in person, that needs that medicine, that needs that strength from me dancing. And I felt like, it just allows me to help more people. So I just needed to improve a bit by bit. When I first started dancing, I didn't have very much. And as I kept going on and the years kept going on, I kept adding and changing and adapting, and even the way I dance. And I just kept moving, and I kept changing environments. Little by little, step by step, I've changed and I've flourished into what I am now today. So that's all you gotta do with your own life. Take a step back, look, try again. So with that, I will see you next Wednesday. Sukani for tuning in. Dagas. And remember, everything always happens for the right reasons. Take care, all my wealthy warriors.